groups to drag federal government to world bodies. They demand removal of checkpoints. Worried by the hardships, suffering, and humiliation suffered by road travelers due to multiple roadblocks and checkpoints mounted by security agencies on the road leading from southwest to southeast and south-south regions, and also within the two regions, some influential Igbo groups have threatened to drag the federal government to court, the International Human Rights Commission, and other global bodies. They said that the multiplicity of roadblocks and checkpoints mounted with logs of wood, sandbags, solid concrete, and all sorts of unsightly materials, especially on the Shagamu-Benin-Onitsha Expressway and on all major roads in the southeast and south-south, were simply extortionist centers. Those at a World Press Conference in Lagos yesterday to highlight the issue were Chief Emmanuel Chuks Ikoku, President Art Oka Iwu, Major General Obi Humani, retired President General Ndigbo Lagos, Mr. Oscar Onwudiwe, President Aka Ikenga, and Mr. Ngozi Odumoku, Coordinator Nzugo Umunna. Why not questioning the constitutional role of the agencies to combat crime? The groups bemoaned that serious abuses and negation and curtailment of human rights and civil liberties pervaded their operations at these roadblocks and checkpoints. They therefore called on President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately direct the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, to dismantle the roadblocks, particularly at this festive period when the Igbo had commenced mass movements to the southeast, describing the roadblocks as a national disgrace for which the operators and perpetrators ought to be ashamed. They wondered why IG Adamu had returned roadblocks even when his predecessor dismantled them because of their ineffectiveness in combating crime. According to the groups, our citizens are routinely harassed, intimidated, and extorted of their belongings at these checkpoints. Huge man-hours are merely a fraction of economic losses occasioned by these roadblocks, as journeys and that ought to take a few hours are punctuated to every few hundred meters, stretching the journey to 4 times the normal hour it ought to take. In many instances, especially on the Shagamu-Benin-Onitsha Expressway, the roadblocks are barely a pole apart. Ohanes Ndigbo lists 24 checkpoints between Lagos and Ore, 23 checkpoints between Ore and Benin, and 13 checkpoints from Benin to Onitsha, according to a total of 60 checkpoints on that narrow corridor alone. This is replicated throughout the southeast and most of the south-south zones. Aside the mental torture that travelers now go through, turning an otherwise routine activity into a nightmare, the impression of an economic siege and blockade is inescapable. Instructively, the Shagam Benin Onitsha, Otukpo Enugu, and Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway were specifically listed among the roads affected by this directive. Sadly, instead of building on this brave and well-intentioned initiative, the current Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, who was on assumption of office viewed as reform-minded, has taken the police force and the country backwards with the reintroduction of these illegal roadblocks that truncate the ease of doing business policy of the federal government and cause huge economic losses, among others. However, very disturbing is the recent statement credited to the current Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, to the effect that these illegal roadblocks would remain. We consider this statement as highly insensitive, provocative, and unacceptable, especially in light of constitutional breaches occasioned by these roadblocks and the hardships which our citizens are subjected to at these checkpoints. Aside from the fact that there is no empirical study to show that these countless roadblocks are more effective than highway patrols in combating crime, we note that even in the northeast, including Maiduguri, which is the hotbed of insurgency, the roadblocks are curiously fewer than those on the Shagamu-Benin-Onitsha Expressway and other southeast roads. We therefore find the position of Mr. Adamu and as untenable and unacceptable. We reject it in its entirety. We ask President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the Inspector General of Police and other heads of security agencies to comply with the Senate resolution and immediately dismantle these roadblocks. In place of these illegal and deb debilitating roadblocks, the security agencies should immediately commence high visible patrols and effective surveillance of the highways. Further, security personnel who engage in such vehicular patrols on highway and major roads must wear bold name tags and service numbers to foster accountability. The Igbo groups urged all Nigerians traveling on those routes to remain law-abiding and polite to law enforcement agencies while asking them to also report incidents at the roadblocks to them through their town unions and other cultural organizations. He said, we hereby serve notice that continued abuse and curtailment of people's fundamental human rights on the highway will be strongly challenged in the courts of our land, ECOWAS court, and presented to International Human Rights Commission, the doyen of the diplomatic corps in Nigeria, and other international organizations, and will be requesting for sanctions accordingly on those who openly or tactically encourage or condone these harrowing conditions of on citizens. So guys, this is a really a long one. This thing have been going on for a very long time. It's been going on for a very long time, and recently I even thought maybe this group never even heard that the IG had said that he's not going to remove it, that nothing will make him remove it. For the now that he's not even interested in removing it because they are trying to curb the security, insecurity and crime that is going on in that zone. And just like we have been saying, and it's confirmed that even where is the even the hub of insurgency, they don't even have this amount or these numbers of checkpoints and roadblocks in that area where they are supposed to go, which everybody has been saying. And one thing again, of course, they are doing their bits. You know, they are coming out to say, okay, to call on the president, because we know that nothing, the president is not going to do anything unless the people will not allow him to rest. But ordinarily, this man is not going to do anything. And for the fact that the IGP has said he's not going to remove that roadblock, that nothing, there is nothing that they are going to do or nothing they are going to save. But for the now, that is not even ready to remove that roadblock. And with all of these things, how have they been curbing insecurity? Because we don't even hear much insecurity in that or crime in that area where we have the hub of insecurity and insurgency. It is there like that every day. What effort have they really put in place to combat that the problem? And to crown it all, the problem people are facing on that road is the extortion that the police people are, embark on. And it's very shameful and disgraceful that, things that are happening in this country, most especially from the police side, is not done elsewhere. Because they don't see anything. Because most of the time they will come and tell you, oh, this is a sovereign country, Nigeria is a sovereign country, there's nothing anybody can do, because they believe that the atrocity can be done there and nothing will happen. So they don't believe that, even if you like, go and report to God. They don't even care. So we want to go and report to all those ones. What is their business in our country? Who are they to tell us what to do? So that is the pride in most of their attitude and body language at times. And so they will tell you that, oh, they put up best practices. Oh, they are professional. They are this. Is that how they do it? And some people are even still blaming the government too. That the reason why these people are, extorting the masses is because of their welfare. But at the end of the day, it cuts across board. Because if the head is rotten, what will the down or the body do? Nothing. The whole thing is the whole thing is just messed up. And as you are trying to regulate this, as you are trying to do this other one, a lot of problems are on ground. I don't even know where we're going to start. Some people will tell you, oh, we don't need restructure, that the restructuring we need is the restructuring of the mind. How do we start from? Because even if it's okay, restructuring of the mind, but those ones who are at the top, they are not doing the right thing. They are not doing the right thing, but they want you to be law abiding. How can, in this age and time, that you be having roadblocks everywhere? What are you stopping? What are you doing? Let them get this what is it called? Biometric. Even if anybody commits crime, you cannot even trace the person, because unless they are going to be using their crude way of working, they are going to be searching people. They'll be, they will be embarrassing people. Okay, where's your particulars? Where's your ID card? All of those things. It's not as if we don't have what it takes to be up there. We have everything, but these guys don't want to do it. I always try to talk on this biometric. Everything that is happening, in all those other countries that this our leaders go to, they know. It's not as if they don't know. If you come and tell me that they are not refined, or they are not whatever, they know what they are doing. They are intentionally doing it, because if you have a biometric, if you have all those system in place, it will be so difficult for them to manipulate election. Even the electoral whatever acts they are telling them to make a reforms on, they don't want to do it, because it is all this a crude way they will, they will have access to be doing all these their irregularities. But at the end of the day, it will still come back to them, because if you think that, okay, because you want to get your own share of something, and you don't want to do the needful, those things will still come and haunt you. I don't know whether the way at which people are calling them every now and then, oh, they call the president, oh, they call the this, they are calling them. People are even swearing for them. They are cursing them. I don't even know. They don't even care. If you do the needful, even the stress will not be on you. You will have peace. But since they believe that they want to go in that route, good and fine for them. But let the people continue to speak. It is not only because I could hear that the Igbo groups are saying, oh, most especially this festive period. It shouldn't be there anytime, whether it is festive period or outside a festive period. They shouldn't be there in the first place. And just like they said, the former IGP removed all of those things. And as soon as they remove all those checkpoints, or the police on the road, crime reduced. Everybody could testify to that. So what are you telling us, that you are bringing a checkpoint again to curb crime? And you are disturbing the lives of people. People are just living in fear as they are passing that road. Journey that will take 30 minutes will take 6 hours, just because you are stopping from pole to pole, from pole to pole. I wish them good luck if the president will listen to them. In as much the IGP as taking his stand that he's not going to remove that checkpoint. It's only God that will do it too, because of course he cannot be speaking on that like that without the president knowing about it. So guys, I don't know. And this guy said they're going to take them to the international bodies. I really pray that happens, and they'll do the needful. And people have been calling, different groups have been calling before now. Even Ohanese have been saying it, that they should remove this checkpoint. It's just too much, disturbing the business. Every now and then the vice president will come and say, oh, the ease of doing business. Is that how to do business in that kind of environment? It is well with our souls. So guys, I'll leave your comments below in the comment section, and let's hear your take. Thank you very much. Bye.